What's that? What's that? What's that? But now that I've lived there for a long time, I feel like I know most of the things that are happening, or I can figure it out. Like, okay, that sounds like a motor. That sounds like a valve. So that must be coming from over here. So this is this. So, it's just like as though you've, again, lived at your house for a long time.
Yeah.
So you get used to like when the furnace kicks on or something and like, oh yeah, that's happening again.
But for the first time, you must have heard at that time, did it scare you?
The first time it did, because particularly when I was like I said, the only person living in that part of the space station, and my other American counterpart had gone home, and this is my responsibility, was this part of the space station. I was like, what is that? What is that? What is that? So I ended calling the ground a couple times, probably in that time frame, if I remember correctly. Just sort of, is that normal? Is that normal? And they were like, yes, don't worry about it.
Was there any point where, in all your time in space, was there any point where you heard some sound and you're like, oh, this is it? Like this, like you froze for a moment and like you got scared?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think we were all a little on edge in this latest flight, when we had a satellite below us in orbit explode or disintegrate or something. And then there was a bit of a debris field. And so we were woken up in the middle of the night to all go to our own spacecraft. It's called Safe Haven, because they weren't sure whether or not the debris would hit the space station. So we had about 45 minutes. And the funny part about that is we all met at the bathroom, essentially, one last time to go to the bathroom on as I call it, the big hotel in space, because the spacecraft are sort of like a little camper. So they don't have really good bathrooms on the spacecraft. And so it was like, take advantage of, okay, I've got 45 minutes. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to get some water, hug my friends, say goodbye. That was a little bit surreal situation, I think, not because of the bathroom. The bathroom was just sort of funny. But as we were leaving, 3 spacecraft that have human beings that are going to return to Earth. So one spacecraft's going to go and land in the ocean. One's going to land around the United States. One's going to land in the desert in Kazakhstan. One's going to land in the desert in the United States. And we all sort of hugged each other. And we're like, hopefully I'll see you on Earth. That was a little bit weird. And I wasn't necessarily scared, just sort of, it made me stop for a moment and go like, wow, this would be bad if we all had to leave and then we leave the space station. We had some things we had to do to make sure the space station was in a safe configuration as much as possible, closing hatches, getting things ready. So we didn't have too much time to sit around and think about it. But for a second,